Hey, how's it going everyone? This is Fine Gaming Connoisseur, and welcome to another State of the Game video for Mortal Online 2. Okay, so today we have another new patch. It's version 2.1.6.32. Okay, so this is a very big patch, and it's revamped most notably the chat system, which I think is very primitive by today's standards. And so I'm just going to take you through certain things that if you haven't played the game for a long time, or you're just loading up for the first time since the new patch dropped, then I think the first thing you want to do is go to the video section, because what I noticed was that a number of graphical settings that I used to have on Epic have been I think they were set to low for some reason, and so if you had them to in the setting that you want, you probably want to change them back to how it used to be, because it may have changed. And so another thing that you probably want to have a look at is the chat tab. Sorry, the chat settings. So now what you'll see is that there is a pop-up section, a pop-up column where you can select which messages you want to have pop up on the screen like they used to. So if you played the game, you probably notice that when there's a pop-up, it just comes up across the screen. It says, like, let's say if someone says something to you or says something in local, it'll display in the middle of your screen. And also there is a timestamp as well now, so that you can have each chat message have a timestamp. So this is really for those of you who want it. Like, I personally like to have timestamps on everything. Just it's just my thing. And also you have whispers. I think I can't remember if this is something that was introduced in this patch or another patch. I can't remember, but yeah, it's in here now. And there's a profanity filter, friend whispers only, and so you can have whispers open up in a new tab. So do make sure to just go through this and check the ones that you want. And so another thing that I want to touch on is one of my viewers told me that I was swerving too much to the side or behind, and they suggested that I should increase the drag sensitivities. And so I did have a look at that, and as it turns out, I already had it to 100. But I think what happens is that I get I get quite excited when I'm playing games like Mortal Online 2. So every time in a combat, whether it's against another player or against the NPC, I get quite excited. So as a result, I get a little bit more. My hands move more than they normally would, and so as a result, I probably move it a bit too much, and so I end up looking to the side or backwards. And so I am working on just maybe not moving too much and maybe not getting too excited, because my heart my heartbeat does rise whenever I go into a PvP situation. So that probably explains why I often end up looking to the side or backwards. So just bear with me. I will try to work on that. And also I normally have this off, but ever since the patch dropped, I've noticed that this was enabled again. So yeah, you may want to just go through each of the settings just to make sure that everything is as you want it to be. All right. So, and I noticed that every language now it seems to no longer have a percentage complete, and so I'm wondering does this mean that every language is now fully translated and fully supported? I'm not too sure, but if that's the case, then it would seem that that Mortal Online 2 has moved one step closer towards being a bit more, looking more complete, because in the past they did have different languages being at certain percentage complete, and so that was yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like it just made the game feel like it was still in half complete, half still in development and not ready for release or something like it just feels like that. But lately, yeah. So as of this patch, the percentage complete seems to have disappeared. So I don't know. I don't know whether this is a sign that all the languages are now fully translated. I'm not too sure. but yeah, basically just go through every single one of these settings. Just make sure that everything is in order before you log in. And once again, well done to SV. When this patch dropped, I didn't have to wait for the server to come back up. And another thing that that is in the patch notes is that now server downtimes, server maintenance will now take 1 minute, down from 30 minutes. So that's good. And so that definitely makes the game feel more robust and more more playable for those of us who don't like to wait for server downtimes and that kind of thing. So as you know, this patch also includes a Unreal Engine 5.5 something, 5.5 upgrade. And so I did read in the patch notes that that all the it's going to be more frame rate increases. And so what I've noticed is that if you look in the bottom, towards the bottom left, you'll see that I'm running on 110 plus frames per second. Normally in this area I would get maybe 70 or 60 frames per second, but now it's running at 100, in excess of 100 frames per second. So that is definitely a huge improvement, almost a 50% increase in frame rates. So what this means is that the game will be a lot more accessible for people with lower end hardware, and so this is definitely a huge step forward for the game. Yep, and so I want to just touch on the probably the most significant. What is going on? And there's a red. Rampage. Okay, so it's drawing attention from some nearby players, but yeah, when I logged in, there was a lot of people doing duels or running around. So the first thing that so I want to touch on is the chat system that has been radically revamped, and I would say it's kind of SV trying to make it feel more like the chat system in EVE Online, which is very customizable and very flexible. And so now you can right click on every single tab and you can create new tab. You have window settings, and this will give you can tailor the color to your liking. Personally, I don't really care too much about that, but it is there for people who like it, who like to customize each tab with a certain color. And tab settings, so you can now decide what you want to appear in in each tab. So I did have a few issues at first. I tried to disable the say and yell and certain other tabs from appearing, but it seems to keep appearing in general. At first I thought that this was something that you couldn't remove, but I think so. Let me just try it and see whether it appears in. Okay, so let me just say in test, say in local. Okay, so now it's actually working properly, and now it's so every time when a new message appears in a tab, it'll have a little exclamation mark, and there you go. So that's my message that I just typed in local. And so what I've done, I've tailored this whole chat system to work the way I like it. So, you know, you start off with general, help, chat, and trade. And so I put in local, combat, and skill, and one for guild and one for whisper. So you can really tailor this system exactly the way you want it, and that's really good. And I think this is a very good step forward, because I think the chat system was one area where it made this game feel like it was very, very primitive, like as if it was back in, you know, the 2000s. And even the 2000s, I think they had some, you know, well, let's say World of Warcraft, they had some more advanced chat features, and you know, EVE Online came out in 2003, and even that game had more, sort of like a more flexible and more advanced, you know, chat system. So I really think that this should have been implemented when Mortal Online 2 launched, but you know, never better late than never. So yeah, well done SV for putting this in at last. I think this is long overdue, but you know, now that it's in, I think it's a good improvement, a good step forward as well. And of course, you can also move the chat windows around, and you know, so let's say you want certain tabs to be in front or behind, then you can move them, you can drag them along, and you know, you can really make it the way you want. And of course, you can also delete the tab or rename it. So yeah, it's really, you can really make it the way you want it. But hopefully with this whole, you know, with all the new tabs and everything, I think hopefully people will start to use help chat for the purpose that it was intended, and not for, you know, not for anything else. But I don't know. Time will tell. Yeah, it still seems like everyone is using general more than the help or trade. Okay, so there is someone using the trade channel, so that's good. And someone's dueling. And I did see some funny things happening on... yeah, I did notice some funny things happening while I was testing it the first time I logged in. Yeah, someone was... Yeah, there were people dueling, and yeah, it's also another reminder, guys. If you're in town, don't just think that, you know, a town is a safe place where you can just let your guard down and be complacent, because that is probably the last mistake you'll make before you die, before your character gets killed right in town, right in front of the guards, because even with all these guards roaming around, someone can easily take your health down to mercy mode, and that's what I saw. You know, when you're unarmored and when you get a hit to the head, it is almost, you know, one hit away from dying. So and someone can easily take you out before the guards can respond and take them out. So and there's a red horse. And so yeah, so do not be complacent. And so I did try out a few things. You know, I did test the some of the many features that was in the chat system, and I do apologize to the person that I try to, you know, I was trying to see whether I can hold down R and then you know, hopefully I was hoping that there would be a feature where you can drag their name in, you know, from on the screen in front of me to the chat. But since, as it turns out, that there doesn't appear to be that feature right now, and so and I probably should have done it in front of the person, because the person turned around and saw me standing to their side, and I think that spooked them a little bit. So I do apologize to that person. I didn't have any ill intentions. I was just trying to test out the you know, see how far I can. See what is capable. See what see what is possible in the new chat system, and so I think that person probably thought, you know, I don't know whether that person is aware that thievery is currently not in the game, so there's no way for me to steal anything anyway, and I'm not a thief. I don't play thieves, and actually I'm a very much an anti-thief. In Mortal Online 1, I spent a lot of time just trying to watch out for thieves and waging a kind of an invisible arms race, escalation kind of arms race towards thieves. When they do this, then I would do that, and then the thief would do this, and then I would do that, and so on and so on. But yeah, so this is a very good patch in my opinion, and so I want to just also have a look, show you guys the map seems to have gotten a good amount of improvement as well. You've got relics now that appear on the screen. I'm not sure if this was already in the this might have been in the patch already, but maybe I just haven't checked the map that often. So, but yeah. So as of right now, as of the state of the game right now, and this might have been already in previous patches, but I'm just showing you what the game looks like right now. So, so the game, it does show, the game does have, the map does have more information now for people. So a lot of people who are maybe asking whether a town has a certain appliance, you don't need to ask that anymore. You can just look at the map and it'll tell you, it'll tell you what each town has. Even the ones that you haven't been to yet. Like I haven't been to Jungle Camp because the map is so massive. And so yeah, so these are all the areas that each guild controls. So Odin Sea controls, more or less Fabenham, I think. In the North Order, I don't know whether these two are allies or not, but yeah. So Odin Sea certainly controls a huge part of the North. And so another thing that I did notice as well, and I'm not sure when SV put this in, but yeah, this, each stone now has a bit more of a useful text. So now it says that Kaux is mined for its coal, calx powder, and flake stone content. So, so I think SV has seen that the third-party sort of website made by players has a emulator that tells people what you'll get when you process a certain rock. So, so yeah, it's a good thing that SV is putting these things in. So Granum, you get blood ore, base material used for steel production. That's really good. See, this is what I'm looking for. Because as much as I like a game where certain secrets are held by certain players and not shared out fully with everyone, but I think we're at a stage where I think Mortal Online 2 needs to start putting these the very basic sort of knowledge in, because this is by this point it's common knowledge. Everyone knows what Sabura is for and what it produces when you crush it, and so obviously Sabura is used very much in cuprum production. So now, of course, that's not the only way you can make cuprum, and malachite can be extracted from other rocks like calx. Yeah, so it's not mentioned, but you can actually extract malachite from calx as well. So, but just in smaller amounts compared to Sabura. Sabura gives the most malachite, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I don't know when SV updated all of this, but please SV, please give this section, please give this journal part of the UI more love. I really love this, all these things that you put in, but I really hope that you guys will, yeah, they see you guys, and putting screenshots, images of what each creature looks like. I think some of these still need more work, because some of these still don't have portraits. So why do you have one for The Walking Dead, but not for the veteran band. I don't understand. So yeah, please SV, please. I know this is not a high priority, but you know, I think it will, in a small way, it will make the game feel more complete and more appealing for people who are looking at things like this, and they might think that, oh, you know, is it because the game isn't complete? It's still in development, and that's why it's not. That's why it doesn't have some of these you know, portraits and text and whatnot. So hopefully that SV can get around to doing all these things. But I think they got the main part of the chat features done correctly. And so this brings me to another related topic. I think SV would do well to copy more of EVE Online's very, very extensive and very, very detailed and very EVE Online's UI is just the best, in my opinion, the best in a MMORPG that I've seen so far. Because even things like when you get killed by a mob or a player, it leaves a receipt. So that way you always know who killed you and how many times they've killed you and what weapon they used, what time, what date, and how much damage they did and who else participated. So all these details, you know, and things like what ship they use and stuff like that. You know, it's things like that that makes me like EVE Online as well. You know, EVE Online is one of my favorite MMORPGs, partly because of that. And I think, you know, Mortal Online 2 is losing out to EVE Online in this area, in this department, because, you know, EVE Online allows you to track every single thing. It allows you to track what items you have in each space station, and it allows you to track locations. It allows you to bookmark every single area on in space, even empty space. You know, you can drop a coordinate, and then so that you can go back there later, and you can even add notes and put it organize it in a folder and subfolders, and so that's really a very, very, that's how, in my opinion, that's how Mortal Online 2 should be. You should have all these ability to track and be able to see everything and keep records of everything. So I don't know. Hopefully this SV will see this, and they will, you know, hopefully put it in the pipeline for their work when they move on to future things, you know, future sprints. And so I did also go down to the Fablenum sewers to have a look, just to try out the combat, and I was quite impressed as well. Not only did the frame rates go up all the way to 144, which is what I've got it set to, because, you know, I don't want the frame rates to just go to the maximum, because that would just, you know, cause my hardware to work harder than is necessary. I mean, 144 frames per second is pretty, it's pretty high. I mean, I don't think I need more than 144 frame rates per second. But the graphics seems to have improved. I don't know what it is with maybe it's the Unreal Engine 5 upgrade. The graphics look remarkably different, and it seems to look better now. It feels more ominous, and it does look more dark. So maybe it's time to pull out that torch if you're having trouble seeing things. But and the AI, the patch notes does say that AI has been improved, but I don't know. Maybe I need to try out more mobs. But yeah, it was a fun trip down the Fablenum sewers, and I did encounter some players there, and yeah, I am planning to do more game guide videos, and but yeah, there's no hostile encounters, thankfully, this time, but yeah, so I did spend some time down there, and it was fun. So So yeah, I think this is where I'll leave it. I think these are the main things that I want to cover, but yeah, all the patch notes are in the description below, and so if you have any questions, please do feel free to put it in the comment section, and I will try my best to answer them. And if you have any comments about anything, just let me know. Please do leave a like, a thumbs up on this video, and please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Please do also enable all the notifications, and please share this video out. It really does help. And so thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Oh, and there was a duel, so... Alto. Hello. I wonder why he's sitting next to me. Yeah, I'm just gonna watch these two guys duel. So this is Odin Seed versus Overt. So who's winning? Alright. So I did see during my first login into after the patch dropped, I did notice people still stepping in front of people dueling, and I always tell people don't do that because it's not only very disruptive, but yeah, so it's definitely not a good idea. And that person that that got hit, the person who was had a flashing flag, that got one hit to mercy mode. I think he he healed one of the people dueling, and as a result he got flagged local grey. Local grey as in grey to that person that the person that was involved in the duel or something. Part of the flagging rules. So that's why that person was able to attack him and not get guard whacked in the process. Okay. And has the... Oh, and it's spilled over to upstairs. Alright. Alright. Just... Oh no. Oh no. This is way too close. Oh, I better just... Maybe if I stand behind the counter, they won't get me. But yeah, I think this guy, this red El Soso is going to win. I think El Soso is going to win this round. I don't know. It looks very close. Oh, and someone healed him. Someone healed him. And I think it's this guy here. Alright, sorry that my screen was shaking because my hand is on my mouse and I'm laughing, so it kind of oh, this is getting out of hand. This is what they call a pub brawl. Alright. And it's... Oh, what's happening? Oh, it's turning into a local war. It's turning into a small PvP fight, a small PvP battle. Okay, I think I'll watch from the safety up here. Oh! Okay, who died? Oh, El Soso. Oh, I thought El Soso was going to win. But it turns out there's... How do you pronounce the name? Severage. I think he won. Yeah, he won the. But I think there was a number of people helping the two combatants. So yeah, so this is so this is how quickly a duel can escalate and turn into an all-out war. And the more people join in, the bigger the war becomes, the bigger the battle becomes. Alright, so I think this is where I'll leave it. So I don't think this is over, but where's it going? Are they taking it outside? Let's take it outside. Are they going outside? Oh no, I think they're just picking a... No? Where are they going? They're going on the roof. Alright. I wonder where it leads to. Oh wow. What is going on? Something very weird is going on. So this is what can happen even in town, and this is why I love part of the reason why I love this game, because it's so spontaneous. You know, I just wish SV had more spontaneous events that they put into the game. Maybe. Oh, that reminds me. I think in one of the upcoming patches that they've got planned, that they're working on, they're going to introduce invasion spawns. So I think that would introduce a whole level of dynamic content events that will happen in the game, that the game will just create, and will be very spontaneous and random and unpredictable. So that will add a layer of fun into this game. I mean, that's the kind of thing that I've been longing for in a game like this. You know, just spontaneous events that just happen out of nowhere and causes the player population to respond and react accordingly. So, but yeah, I think this is where I'll leave it. So thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you again in the next video. So until next time, thank you for watching. This is Fine Gaming Connoisseur. Take care and have a very good day.